All right. Good morning and welcome to another very, very short episode of the Liberty Dad Podcast, a discussion on politics and culture. I'm your frustrated host, America's most objective libertarian. If you're tuning in live, thank you so much for giving me your time so early. All right, folks, here is the deal. I had intended on having Alan Roberts on this morning. He jumped on the Rumble stream and we were having unresolvable audio issues. So I was like, well, what am I to do here? I'm not sure how I need to handle this. And so what I decided to do is just do a quick short stream. And I don't even know if it's going to be, might only be like 10 minutes. That's fine. Part of it was, I know at least my VA lady's in there. If anybody else is in there, whatever platform you're watching on, please give me a thumbs up or a comment somewhere. Facebook, X, Rumble, whatever. Just letting me know that you can hear my audio. The issue that we were having was Alan couldn't hear my audio. I could hear him just fine. As far as I could tell, everything on my end was going fine. Now, I will say this. I was not streaming from Rumble Studio, the direct RTMP. So I was actually streaming from, there's different ways to stream from Rumble Studio. So I had set him up as a guest differently. But just let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a comment. Whatever. Let me know, hey, DL, we can totally hear you. I think that's the case, but I don't know. And that will help me out. And then while I'm live here, if you guys want to chat about something real quick for a few minutes, we can. Okay, so my VA lady says, I can hear you on YouTube and Rumble. So I don't think my audio was the issue. It sounds like it's audio on his end. As we've expressed before on the show, Rumble is not a big fan of being consistent. I do, in some ways, like Rumble. I enjoy the fact that Rumble is the first platform that I was able to get monetized on. I also appreciate the fact that Rumble, they do not censor you. So you could say whatever you darn well please, for the most part. I mean, I think there's a few situations, very narrow set of circumstances for which you could have your channel pulled or your shows pulled. But they generally give you a lot of latitude, which I appreciate. YouTube does not. We've had a lot of problems with YouTube. The functionality is great on YouTube. However, it's like you got functionality or you have your content. Take your pick, right? So it seems like Rumble, they give you flexibility for your content, but the functionality is kind of on the fence. But then on the flip side, when you go over to YouTube, their functionality is superb. I've never had a problem with the functionality, but the content, they're like, and a lot of it's automated. That makes it even worse. So, because then you got to, I've had my show pulled in the middle of a stream. I've had my show pulled after the stream. I've had to multiple times go and push back because they'll come out and they'll say, hey, we have found some copyright material. You can't use this. We've disabled the audio for that segment. Whatever they've done. And so then I'll go and push back and I'll say, I'll go in there and I'll go through their little process and I will select the fact that I am a creator and I'm claiming to use this material as far as fair use is concerned. And then I'll explain why I believe it's fair use. Here's a little secret. If if you're a content creator on YouTube, when you get flagged, when something actually happens. Now there is a flag for which they'll say, like, I got a couple videos where they're like, you can't use this audio, or this audio is copyrighted. And in some regions, it's, people can't play your stuff. And then I'll look to see the regions. And so far, every time has been Belarus and Russia. So I'm like, well, okay. So if you're from Russia or Belarus and you're like, how come I can't see all your episodes? I'm sorry. I'm not going through all the effort for two countries that I think I have. If I have anybody watching, it's a very tiny, it's a lot of work, and I have to mind my time. So I will ignore those, and I'm like, okay, no big deal. But everything else, I will go through the effort, and there's a form. So if you fill it out and you push back, now don't fill it out and lie. Like, if you're not, and be mindful of what you think is fair use. If you play somebody's whole 30-minute clip and you're not in there creating commentary on it, that's not really fair use. Not even by any, you can't even stretch that. But if you're playing like a 2-minute clip of something and then you stop it occasionally and you're giving your commentary, in my opinion, that's not a legal opinion, but in my opinion, that is totally fair use. And you should push back and say, no, YouTube, I was engaging in fair use. And here's the secret. A lot of times, if you just wait it out, like if you submit a counter and then you wait it out, then the claim will be released. And I think what happens either one of two things. Either the content creator, the original creator who has the claim, either they review it and they don't care, or they don't bother reviewing it, because a lot of this is automated. So I'm not really sure which is the case. I suspect that what's happening is there are creators out there that will say, my content is copyrighted. YouTube will flag it automatically when they find out your content. And I think the easiest way to flag it is through definitely music, and then also through the video. This is why sometimes I will play distorted video with the hopes that they won't see that the video is distorted through their automated service. And so then this automated service will flag it and say, hey, this is copyright. And then you have to go and fill out the form and go through the process of making a claim against it, saying, nope, it's fair use. Let me use it. Unflag my video. And then I don't remember how long, maybe it's 30 days. I'm not sure. But almost every single time every single time that I've claimed fair use, it has come back and allowed me to use the video. There are some others where it'll say copyright found, and then it will tell you that that it's permitted. So like the content creator, the original creator will say, well, this is copyright, but I don't care if somebody uses it. So I don't, and that flag will come up, and it doesn't affect, I don't have any strikes on YouTube. So whatever. So I like Rumble in the fact that I don't have to go through all of that. And it's not time intensive. It's just that I have to stop everything that I'm doing to go and push back and say, no, I am engaging in fair use here. I am criticizing or agreeing with or adding additional context to this particular video. So, so my VA lady points out, let me throw that up on the screen here. By the way, everything here is in disarray because I had set up an entirely different show, and then I had to scramble to put together a show. So let me go to the live chat here and just add this really quickly. So let's put this up on the screen. All right. So my VA lady says it's AI that flags it first, then a person checks the challenge. I think maybe. I think what happens sometime, I think it varies because based on what I've seen. So I've seen where I definitely believe that AI is flagging it first. I don't think a human is, but I'm not always confident that a human is checking it. So when I've done the Jubilee, when I've played Jubilee videos, and that gets you everything every single time. I've had my show pulled right in the middle of the stream from it. Then I go to YouTube. I go to X and I tag the YouTube team. I think is their name, at YouTube team, and I say, hey, blah blah blah, and they'll go and look at it. And then so far for me, it's been released. I've seen for others that their channel or their episode was not restored, and from what I could tell, it looks like some of the cases, I'm not so confident that they got it right. I didn't investigate fully, but I, just kind of like watching what's happening on X. So I don't know. It's very unclear exactly what's happening, but whatever the case, it is, it's a pain. So, and then, okay. So let's see. My VA lady says here on Facebook. So hopefully, I'm pretty confident that Facebook, the audio is going through there. I don't have any issues with Facebook generally. But that's because I actually send all the signal directly to Facebook because I have some issues with Rumble connecting to Facebook. Still working that out. So it's just a challenge. So anyway, to get back to this conversation with Alan Roberts, we had to message each other because I could hear him. He couldn't hear me. So we're going to aim to do the show tonight. I've got to go and check out my calendar and see when we can do this. Probably around 7, maybe 7:30. I'm not really sure exactly. We will see. Maybe even 8 o'clock. I'm not sure. So I will get back with you guys. I will keep an eye on the setup. So when you go to my YouTube page, it'll preset the show and say, hey, the show's occurred. Keep an eye on that. I'll let you know. What I will do is, if we're still having problems back tonight, I will have a StreamYard backup. Okay? And that backup I can use the backup because this morning, I quickly jumped over to StreamYard and the audio was going there. So we weren't having any problems. So I will have StreamYard as a backup. That way we can avert this issue. So we're going to aim for Rumble, but we'll have a StreamYard backup, which we can do really quickly. He did offer to jump on the show tomorrow morning. However, I have a guest tomorrow, so that's not going to work out. And tomorrow, since I'm going to have a guest, I will also prepare a StreamYard backup just in case. And so we'll be ready to on the fly switch over because I don't really know what's going on. I don't know, if there was a setting on his computer or if Rumble was just being quirky. I have no idea. So it may be Rumble, may not be Rumble. I don't really know. Let's see here. Hope you read my smart remark on X. And yes, I hear you on Facebook and X too. Okay, cool. So X, it may be time to dump Rumble Studio. Maybe. I mean, it's a trade-off, right? Like I just said, like the one thing I do like about Rumble, I have never had any problems with my content. I don't think I've been flagged a single time. I don't have to do anything. It just is the user interface is kind of limited. Their functionality is a work in progress. I was actually complaining about it recently to a friend who is a software developer. And in the software developer community, there used to be this thing called just ship it. And the idea being you get it good enough and then you ship the code and then you deal with whatever's not working after the fact. And then all the customers, like there's this idea. And I was like, I was kind of complaining to him and I was like, yeah, it feels like Rumble is just like ship it. Just get it out there. And it frustrates me because Chris Pavlovsky, I think is his name. He is the CEO. And I feel like he spends a lot of time promoting all this like crypto and all these other features. And I'm like, dude, can you please get the core functionality working solidly? For people. And it was really frustrating when I was in the creator program, because in the creator program, I had requirements to meet. So I'm not doing it now, but I had requirements to meet. And so I don't have time for, a platform to not be functioning correctly for me. It's too difficult. And my because of the nature of my time, it's not like I can say, okay, guys, give me an hour, I'll be back. It's not how it works. I get done with the show and I immediately jump over to work. I have a real job that pays, serious money. and, and all that good stuff. And there's expectations. I have to be there. So, like I'm not in a position where I can just be like, oh, okay, we'll try it again in an hour, guys. See if we can work it out. I'll shut everything off, start it back up. I don't have that. So it just so happened this morning, I was able to quickly at least get a show. That way we can be consistent. So I do want to be consistent with my shows. And if I absolutely have to, I'll get on here for 10, 20 minutes and just, maybe 30 minutes, whatever, and just blather on for a few minutes. So that's what's going on today, folks. Having a problem with my stream with Alan Roberts. His audio was not functioning. We're going to try again tonight. I do not yet know the time because I literally, once him and I agreed that we'd try it again tonight, then I said, I was like, I'll get back with you on the time. I've got to go and check our schedule and see what's going on tonight and make sure that I can actually do this. And then what time I can do it. And it can't be too late because, I'm an old man and I get up at like 5 a.m. So, I can't like do a 10 p.m. show. I mean, technically I could. I don't want to, right? Because then I'll be tired. You know how dad is when he's tired. He's grumpy, and then he storms around the house, like, "Rah." I mean, it's not like I'm mean to my family or anything, but, I'll be grumpy, and I don't want to be grumpy. So that's where we are today, folks. All right, let's see what else. Let's see here. Let's go back to the live chat here real quick. So my VA lady says, is Liberty Dad thinking about Restream for streaming platform? Mark K uses it and never has any issues. It's on the table, but I can't divulge everything just yet. But there are conversations in the background that are happening, and those conversations, how those play out, will kind of determine the platform that I use. So I'm having some conversations with some folks. And so there, and not only am I having conversations, but I'm also evaluating everything. So I'm looking at, okay, what platform do I want to use? Where do I want to be? All this good stuff. So there's a lot going on. There's more than just content being produced. Now, let's see. Let's see here. See, he says, Chris loves his daytime lineup. The smaller creators and user interface are low on his radar. I'm actually kind of surprised they released Larry's money. So Larry Sharp was having some money issues with Rumble, paying out. And again, I don't think that they're trying to cheat people necessarily. And I think there is something to be said about the smaller creators. Again, remember, if you recall when I was kind of saying like I'm out with the creator program, I think that I think that Rumble has a particular direction that they're going. And so if you want to be in the creator program, which is not a bad program necessarily, then you've got to do things their way. And we just came to a line that I was like, nope, that's not going to work for me. And that line was promoting products and services that I cannot verify. So if you have a favorite juice drink, okay? And if the juice drink is working with Rumble and they want me to promote the juice drink, then I can at least buy it and taste it. And, at least in some way, if I were to promote it, at least express that, yes, I have experienced this, or I know something about it. But if you're like, hey, here's this random phone company and they've got a cool service, and I'm not going to check out the service, or I can't, in some way verify it. That's probably a bad example. I'm not going to promote it because I'm associating my name, my brand. So I got to be mindful. So that's where we are, folks. All right. I think I'm going to get out of here. I just wanted to jump on very quickly and let you guys know what happened with the stream this morning. So again, look forward, hopefully, to tonight. I'll have Alan Roberts on. We'll talk about the state of the nation, kind of where are we culturally? What are some of the ideas that he has that he thinks can kind of get the ship steered back into the right direction? And then, so if that happens, that'll be great. So look forward to that. Then tomorrow I will have on, what was his name? Let me take a quick look here. Tomorrow I'm going to have on What's his name? Here it is. Mason Shoemaker from the Florida College Democrats. So he is the chair or president. I'm not sure what they call it, but he leads the Florida College Democrats. And he, after the death of Charlie Kirk, after he was murdered, he put out an immediate statement condemning political violence. And then he happened to come across one of my posts, and he said, "Hey, I'd love to come on your show and discuss this. I have a lot to say." So that is going to be tomorrow morning. And then Thursday, I've been pretty quiet comparative to, any times prior to this week. I've been pretty quiet on social media. And just because over the weekend, I just got so frustrated with the right because I felt like the right is indulging so heavily into cancel culture. We're going to talk about cancel culture on Thursday. And I'll probably ruffle some feathers. So look forward to that. I think that's going to be an amazing show. I'm really looking forward to that. And the biggest challenge I'm going to have is filtering through all of the content that I've kind of flagged as like, I might want to use this for the show. So, in fact, Pierce Morgan, he had on, Andrew Wilson, Destiny, Anna Kasparin from the Young Turks, and then I can see his face. I'm trying to think of his name. I can't think of his name. He is another guy. He's a right-wing guy, big popular account on social media. Can't think of his name at the moment. That was pretty explosive, as always. And so I'm going to grab some clips from that to illustrate my point, my problem with where we are in the culture war. So look forward to that. It's going to be pretty interesting. So hopefully I can distill all this content down and not have a 40-hour show, but we'll see. All right, folks, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Again, I apologize that Alan and I couldn't make it work this morning. We will try to get it functional tonight, and I will make sure to have a backup for all of my guests with StreamYard, which I currently have. So we will be back tonight, likely. I can't guarantee it, but just keep an eye on my social media. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. And then we will return. So with that being said, I will see you guys possibly later tonight.